Hey guys, what's up? Derek from Bomb Socks here. Good to be with you on another exciting episode of BOM-BITES, where we're here to help you feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. So yesterday we finished up King Benjamin's address. In fact, my wonderful, beautiful wife, she helped me yesterday. If you want to go back and check that one out, she taught masterfully about Mosiah 4:30, about watching your thoughts and what that really, really means to us. So loved it. Today is Mosiah chapter 5, and apparently this address from King Benjamin worked wonderfully, because you get into chapter 5, verse number 1. It says, King Benjamin, he sent out to the people. He wanted to know if they believed all the words which he had spoken unto them. Verse number 2 is so amazing. There's so much going on in verse number 2. It says, they all cried aloud with one voice. Now, this is interesting because back when we were first introduced to King Benjamin, it says his people had much contention among them. When there's much contention, you got all kinds of differing voices and things that are fighting with one another. It says they all cried together with one voice. This is a unified people. Yea, we believe all the words which thou hast spoken unto us, and also we know of their surety and truth, because of the Spirit of the Lord omnipotent, which has wrought a mighty change in us, or in our hearts, that we have no more disposition to do evil, but to do good continually. That's a great verse, because I was talking to a friend of mine years ago, and we were talking about what it would be like to lose your disposition to do evil. And as we were talking about this, I think the answer is found in that verse. You lose your disposition to do evil by doing good continually. Because as you think about this, as you're spending time in prayer, as you're spending time in scripture study, and again, not that that's how you have to spend all of your life. There's goodness in other aspects of your life, goodness in spending time with your family, goodness in being honest in your job, and other things like that there, just of doing good. As you're doing those things, I know for me personally, like when I'm at the temple, I'm not sitting there going, I wonder if I can go knock off a liquor store later. I lose my disposition to do evil as I'm doing those things. And it's almost like I don't have time to do evil because I'm spending my time doing good. So that's how these people, I really believe they lost their disposition to do evil because of their desires to do good continually. So if you want to do that, you want to lose that disposition, start doing good more often. I really believe that's true. Now, one of the cool things about this is you go to the next verse. Now, the next verse, here's another result of doing good continually. It says, we ourselves, also through the infinite goodness of God and the manifestations of the Spirit, have great views of that which is to come. And were it expedient, we could prophesy of all things. You want to talk confidence. These people had great confidence in the future. And again, the future is so uncertain. That's why a lot of people, I think, are fearful of their future. I know I'm constantly talking to students who they're fearful for the future. And I get that, especially right now in this time where there's been a little bit of a ray of light with regards to this coronavirus, but at the same point, we just don't know what's out there. It could get worse. And so a lot of people, that causes their view of the future to become very bleak and very hopeless. Here's another, evidence of how doing good continually gives you great hopes for that which is to come. So I did my master's degree years ago, and I developed a thesis that worked for my seminary classes. And it was that the youth of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that are praying, that are reading their scriptures, that are attending the temple, that are doing those private religious practices, they're happier than those that aren't. And you're probably like, master's degree for that. Good job, pal. It might seem like kind of research. Yeah, when you do those things, you're happier. I actually found, as I did the research, happiness, first of all, is a very, very difficult thing to quantify. You cannot it's like very difficult to measure. Like, for example, my students that I surveyed on a Friday were much happier than those that were on Monday. Go figure. Those before lunch were not as happy as those after lunch. And those who had just passed a test were happier, and those that just failed a test were not as happy. So happiness is very subjective to what is going on in your life right there. And again, happiness is a great goal to have, but it can be very subjective. Now, the thing that I found, and there's a lot of different things I found that were very fascinating with this study. I found that those who were reading their scriptures and saying their prayers and attending the temple, spending that time with their family, they had greater hopes for the future. Their view of the future was a remarkable difference than from those that weren't doing those things. So that just tells me right there, as you're doing those good things, you have great views of that which is to come. Even though you don't know what's coming, you have great views of it. You want to be able to, your future is very positive. Your future is filled with brightness and filled with hope. And so that's, in fact, there's a very cool verse of scripture that I've cross-referenced to that one in verse number 3. It's Doctrine and Covenants 45, verse 62. This was actually done by a seminary student years ago, and it was one of those, boy, why haven't I marked this verse in my scriptures? Because it's so good. Again, D&C 45, 62 says, "Verily I say unto you, that great things await you." And again, as you're doing these things, you're losing your disposition to do evil, and you're continually doing good. How you view the future is remarkable, and you're excited for it. Even though you don't know what it is, you have great views of that which is to come. Anyway, I believe that is absolutely true. So if you want to lose your disposition to do evil, do good continually, and watch what it does to your views of the future. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope that helps you a little bit. Thanks for sharing these messages. Please keep sharing them out there. Get them out there so the world can see, and we can give the world a greater hope for that which is to come, those wonderful things out there. You guys have an amazing day. Godspeed, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.